I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him.
Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott, he's a coin respecter right now.
Yes.
He is. Jameis Winston now.
I feel like he could go in the GOAT category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in the MAC. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker's screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL 367 piece. Hold the fry. As always, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, in person, boots on ground down in Dallas. Can I get a 10-4?
Josh.
Let me get a 10.
Muted.
No, you're good. Let me get a 4.
Am I?
Let me get a 10. And let me get a Javon mic check here.
Yeah, okay. We're good. We're good.
10?
I think 10s.
Sure.
Potentials.
How we doing?
Potentials.
Good. Chad, how about that Redwoods hoodie that Javon's got on right now? Looks like he's picked his new team.
Yeah, just might have.
Fresh.
Just might have. Shout out to Redwoods.
Sure. And shout out the squad ride, folks. How about them apples? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, 8. 8-piece, Chad. 2 words. 8-piece, hold the fry. Okay, 2 words. Squad rides are print and cash.
Yeah.
That's all you got to know.
W
Unbelievable run.
W recap from you yesterday. A little 2-1, not from me.
Sure.
I had some Moose Piss bets. Full fade.
It
But
happens.
hey, if we got to hit one thing for the day, squad ride, we take
The only
this.
thing that matters on earth, the only reason to get out of bed, the only reason to take a breath every day, the squad ride. Without that, we are nothing, and we hit our 8th in a row. 50 games over 500 for all time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
W's.
We'll take it. How about you and I? How about the Panthers? No AJ Green needed. Unbelievable second half from the boys out there in Northern Iowa. They look great. They were hitting threes. They were doing their jobs. They look like a high school team out there, but I mean, look, that was one of the youngest teams in college basketball last season. They brought back the entire team pretty much. Didn't have to hit the portal too much, and Titan Anderson got it done for us yesterday. You and I, never in doubt.
He might have been the greatest passer of all time. Every time they had an open three, it was him, ball thrown across the court.
And I think that was the only prize pick square we hit yesterday.
Potentials. Him and Isaiah Stevens, maybe.
Oh, let's do the L recap for the prize picks if we even have it, Goots. If we don't have it, don't even show the people. It's just going to make them blind. As we get a little Degen raid, party of 71 piece.
W Degen.
Party of 71 piece. Why not us? Ah, there it is.
There it
I was kind of
goes.
hoping you wouldn't pull it up, but you did. That's okay, though. And yeah, Kyle, we're down here, boots on ground in Texas. Somebody give me a cowboy hat. Also, chat, let me know what I should rock to the Eagles-Cowboys game on Sunday. I could wear the Manders sweatsuit. I could go Manders bomber jacket with this hat. I could go Art Monk Hall of Fame Commanders jersey from the 1930s. I could go a Manders t-shirt. I brought the whole closet.
Sick.
So let me know what you want me to rock at the game on Sunday, boots on ground. I'm fucking lit up.
Did you bring the
You got
shoes?
the Mander sneakers?
Yeah. That's where you fumbled.
Fuck, I dropped the ball.
That's the glue of the entire outfit.
Oh, I dropped the ball. I forgot the shoes, the glue
Yeah.
of the whole
You
operation.
should have brought the shoes and the Sam Houston jersey.
Oh, my girl was asking me what I wanted for Christmas. I told her I wanted the new Pegasus Commander shoes, the black ones.
Multiple pairs of those
Not even
shoes is actually insane.
I wish I was joking.
I fully believe you.
Yeah.
It's the crazy part.
12 and a half. They're on the way. Chat, squad ride today is probably not going to be North Dakota State. Jeff, I like where your head's at, though. You're already in the lab. Can you guys drop in chat what your favorite play is today? Any sport. I don't give a hoot what it is. The slate is so fucking bad today. We're going to have to get creative.
I know. It's going to have to be our most impressive work of the streak yet.
100%.
This is easily the toughest slate we've had.
Speaking of streaks, speaking of good bets, speaking of best bets, speaking of winners, can we pull up the king of the board graphic, Goots? Can we pull that puppy up real quick? Let's see that. Let's see those green check marks. I want to see them because I got 3 puppies on.
I need a fat dog. That's what I'm going to need.
You're gonna
towards
need
the
a
end of
dog
the
to get back
weekend.
into it because for some reason When I lock in a bet for king of the board, it turns green.
You've been tapped.
That's just what it does. Guys, if you're not tapped into the king of the board, if you don't know what the fuck this is, we get 5 plays for the week. Kind of makes it easier for us. We don't have to do a single POD every day, which is tough on days like today where the slate is moose shit. You can kind of diversify, move it out a little bit, do 2 over here, 0 here, whatever the fuck you want to do. Anyways, we're locked in. And even if Javon had a loss last night, doesn't even matter. We're hitting bets overall, and we're moving a grip. That's all that matters.
Yep, got to.
Awesome. No steamed crabs today. I feel like I talked enough shit about Juan Soto and the Yankees yesterday. The only thing I will say about that is it's weird to me that potentially the greatest hitter of all time, under 25 years old, has now been moved twice. That doesn't happen a lot. You don't see a generational player get traded twice before his big contract ever. I don't think this has ever happened. Maybe he's too good, and that's why teams are scared to pay him. I don't know. But I do know one thing. When that guy was in a slump back on the Nats, would snap out of it in a heartbeat, would never have a slump longer than a week. He's coming off his worst career season by far. Weird year. A lot of moving parts. The team was unlucky. They stunk. I hate to say it, Javon, but, I mean, he could not be set up more for success in the Bronx this season. Hidden behind Aaron Judge in a Cooperstown, mini fake park that shouldn't even be allowed to be played in. Probably getting juice baseballs with Aaron Judge. Guys, watch out. Because baseball is going to be investing heavily into promoting the pinstripes over the next year or so. You're going to be hearing that shit shoved down your throats. You're going to be throwing up puking pinstripes. That's how much you're going to be shoving it down your throats.
You know what I will say? Somebody, I think that I saw like a TikTok or a video of somebody talking about this. When Juan Soto is at his best, he is hitting balls the opposite way.
Yes.
And when he's at his worst, like he was last season, he was rolling over everything and pulling everything.
Correct.
So if he's going to be up there, which I can tell you there's going to be a bad start to the season or some bad stretch where Yankees fans are going to be pissed because he's trying to pull the ball to the short porch a lot. So like the short porch really shouldn't be as big of an asset as you would think it would be. And if it is, that's not A+ Juan Soto that you're going to have to play.
Could not have said it any better. The guy is the best opposite field hitter I've ever seen in my life. I was lucky enough to watch him for 3 years in DC. Never seen a guy hit the ball harder to the opposite field.
Yeah.
Everyone talking about how, he's going to use the short porch and right field like no one else has before. They don't know ball.
Yeah.
They don't. They're just looking at what they saw last season when he was hitting 260, 250.
Pretty much.
All right?
Yeah.
We move. Hate to say it, chat, because I will be rooting against Juan Soto, and now I actually don't fuck with him because he is in pinstripes. He's going to go off. He's going to have an insane season. Whether it's him, whether it's the MLB sending the juice baseballs, either way, he's going to get some help, and he's going to have a career season.
Orioles still winning the division, though.
Oh, and the Orioles signed Craig Kimbrell. That should help.
Yeah, league-shattering trade there, or signing from the Orioles.
Although I think we both know that Craig Kimbrell's probably going to have a career season after this year because
he might.
The Orioles, whatever the hell they do and tinker with these guys who come in, they turn out being the greatest relievers of all time. So we'll see.
Yeah.
They'll probably get Kimbrell.
Don't sleep on Shohei to the O's. Don't sleep. Never know. Baltimore's a beautiful city.
That's what I want to know. And Chad, we got time today.
He's a Dodger, man.
We got time today because, there's probably the worst slate of sports on in the last month or so today, although we're going to dive into them.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Where is Shohei going? Because he said that he wants to have it done before the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
Which means, I'm no scientist, but that's in like 3 days. So that's coming up. He's met with the Dodgers. Who else has he met with? Anybody?
I'm pretty sure it's pretty much down
Toronto?
to Dodgers and Jays, it seems like.
Dodgers in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm not taking stock into the Giants or Cubs being in the race. I doubt it. At this point, I think if it was Giants or Cubs, the deal would have been out by now, or details would have been out by now. And truthfully, I think details would have also been out if the Jays were like a serious player at this point. So, I unfortunately think he is a Dodger.
Well, nothing could be worse than Juan Soto going to New York and Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers. That would blow.
Yeah, that would suck.
And
it's looking like a reality. Give it 48 hours, and I would be decently surprised if we don't see a passive bomb of Shohei to the Dodgers.
Okay, well, that would ruin my day again today, like the Soto News did yesterday. We're getting a Dave Martinez burner bomb in chat. This is good. Exactly the guy I needed to talk to today. Hey, Crab, sorry about the news. Maybe I'll stop drinking and tell management to make some moves. Probably not, though. Yeah, we had a really good pick in the Rule 5 draft yesterday, and we took a guy who is atrocious.
So I don't really know what the fuck's going on. I'm just going to sit back and not think about baseball right now because everything that's happening is terrible. Shohei is going to go to the Dodgers, and they're going to build a super team. Juan Soto is now on the evil umpire, and maybe he's the guy that could potentially break their 14-year streak of sucking and not winning shit. He could do it. Not a great day for baseball, Javon, and your guys are fucking leaving too.
Yeah, but I at least have like
leaving too.
I might have some silver lining because if they go to the Reds, I'd be glad. And shout out the Reds; they made a pretty decent move last night. They got your guy, Candyman.
Sure.
Yeah, which is huge. He's probably going to be a Votto replacement. Plus, they can put a Steer in the outfield.
Yeah.
Huge.
I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, that's a good move for them.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. And we got Nick Senzel.
I know. I saw that.
Does that do anything?
He is awful at baseball, except against lefties.
Plays 8 positions.
He does. Yeah, he's a good Nats piece. I'll give him that.
Brady sucks. Okay. And like we've already talked about, chats, Eric Fetty, just want to shout him out one more time for earning a fat contract and getting overpaid by one of the worst franchises in sports, the White Sox. He fleeced them. Good for him. Cannot wait to see him have a 5 ERA this year, but I am rooting for him. I'm rooting for Fetty. Okay, it wasn't his fault he sucked and got cut.
Yeah, he already gave up 5 against the Royals in the opening series.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, you can lock in whoever the Dodgers are playing opening day and whoever the Yankees are playing opening day, run lines.
Did you see the Yankees schedule? Did you see
who they play?
Where they open up the season?
Where?
Away at Houston.
Oh.
That's a pretty cool game. That's a pretty cool series.
That will be a 6 series.
Juan Soto making a debut in pinstripes in Houston. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, give me the Astros. Lock that in as soon as I can catch the line.
Chad, I know it's not baseball season right now, but you guys look at the slate and find shit to talk about. This is probably the most interesting stuff going on right now in sports. Seen a lot of VIPs on Iowa State under. Now we're talking JX, Degen, Raider. Love to see it. Krabs will be on Fetty Cy Young this year. No, he's probably going to stink. Boston Sports Dork saying he misses baseball. It's crazy how we go from not liking baseball when it's only baseball, and then there's no baseball, and everybody wants baseball. Anybody else notice that? Nobody wants baseball when it's only baseball, and then there's no baseball, and everybody's begging for baseball. Does that make sense? So,
there's like
it's true though.
There's like I saw like 3 different points
in
the off season where people just all want baseball, and right now it's because people are tired of CBB towards the end of the non-conference season. That's one of the bubbles.
100%. Hey, we got ref in here. W's ref. Home run boys stand up. Yeah, who's hitting Nick ref in the first game of the season? Get in the lab. I need to know. People forget ref literally guessed every home run caller of all time.
Yep.
Krabs, do a Frosty 5 for shits and gigs. I think I'm good on that.
Frosty 5.
We will definitely touch on more hockey today because
kind of have to.
It's the majority of the game. So why don't we cut the shit, dive in, start talking about some games, start talking about some plays. You want to go to the hardwood and go over these CBB games that stink?
Yeah, we can give it our best shot.
Oh, man. Well, you want to get started with North Alabama and Point University. Some day game action. No spread out yet.
Can't even bet that game. Soon. Can't even bet that game.
Well, why don't we cap it just in case they put a line up?
What are we going to cap, Krabs?
Point University plus 15.
That's going to be the line?
There's no spread. Let's move to a game where we actually might bet here, and there's been some weird action on this one, and I want to talk through with you because I know you know this Eastern Kentucky team. They opened up 9.5 late last night. They're down to 5.5 today. Might be too late. I mean, I'll tell you right now, Eastern Kentucky's keeping that game within 10. I don't know if they're going to keep it within 5, but these Eastern Kentucky teams are playing like shit, but they like to run a little bit, and Greensboro has been overperforming a little bit this season, and with that spread coming down when they're on a 4-game win streak, coming off of some honestly really solid wins against teams like UIC, Delaware, the Roos, and they fucking beat Arkansas outright as plus 14.5 favorites. That spurred this UNC Greensboro streak. Eastern Kentucky, on the other hand, is typically a better team than Greensboro. Typically a pretty good mid-major team. They like to run. They have tempo. They have good shooters and scorers. They've lost 4 of 5. They haven't covered in almost a month. I think you grab the points here with Eastern Kentucky, but it might be a little too late.
Might be a little too late. I also think their scare game was the USC game where it was 58-57. It was a little different because their team, like UNC Greensboro, their defense is really good. A lot better than people realize. And when you have a team that you want to fade them because you think they're going to be out of their element, there's a clash of styles there, obviously, because EKU loves to run. The one difference, I guess, is they have the 2 Langley brothers who I trust to kind of patrol that offense because they're experienced. They've been there before. They do a really good job kind of holding down the flow of the game. So I don't really care for EKU today. I'm not going to lie.
You're putting a little fake sharp stamp on that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to the counter with Greensboro, but I don't know that I love Eastern Kentucky.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just a down year for Eastern Kentucky. Typically a program that
Could
would
be
be a favorite in the spot, or I mean, at least more than or shorter than a +6 favor or +6 dog. I mean, they opened up +9.5 in the series. It's hilarious. They beat this team outright as +2.5 dogs last year. So maybe Greensboro has been getting some respect in this series recently. They've been the better team recently. Maybe just stay off that game. What about the rivalry game of the night? Everybody's talking about it. Arkansas Little Rock versus Central Arkansas.
It's the one we've been waiting for. It's the one we've been waiting for. Do you actually want to bet this game?
No, I don't want to bet it, but I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't potentially look at Central Arkansas. It was 1-9, and last night they got up to +5, and now they're back to +6.
Yeah.
So probably off that. It is a rivalry game. Okay, guys, these games matter more than most people would think they do, because this is Central Arkansas's fucking Super Bowl this year. They're not as good of a conference as Little Rock, and Little Rock is the better team. Little Rock beat them the last time they played last year. Little Rock's on a 3-game win streak. They're back up to 4-4. Central Arkansas hasn't won a game in a month and a half. They stink. They're terrible. Give me the points. Rivalry game. Hungry dog runs faster. Home court advantage. Little Rock sucks. I've watched them play this season. They are sporadic. They're a turnover machine.
They're literally the dream
terrible.
team. The dream team, though, when they play in sharp spots, which they're not on the right side of today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're anything today.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. They've started to play well somewhat. Guess fading them would be the play here, but holy hell, Central Arkansas sucks.
Okay, let's talk about a real basketball game. Let's talk about Iowa State.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
I lean Iowa here, and Iowa's had pretty good success in this series. In recent years, they've won 4 of the last 5 games in this series. I feel like since I remember following college basketball, Iowa typically beating up on Iowa State no matter how good or bad the teams are. Now, Iowa's coming off of a pretty bad loss to Purdue where they kind of got manhandled and really couldn't do shit. They lost by 20. Iowa State, on the other hand, this is not your Mima's Iowa State. This Iowa State team can score the basketball a little bit, and they're not, as reliant on defense as they have been in years past when that's how they've gotten into the tournament. This team can put up some points, and they just put up 99 points against, one of the worst defenses in college basketball at DePaul. I'm still wondering why their head coach has a fucking job. One of the worst coaches in college basketball, but a 99 piece, those don't grow on trees. This offense has improved. I've seen them play much better this season. Didn't play well against my Hokies or A&M, but besides that, they've been putting up some points this year. I still lean Iowa, though, here. They have the edge. The spread's down from 7 to 6.5. I'll back Iowa and Coach Fran, who has an edge against Iowa State on the road here with the points and what I think will be going down in the last possession as, a bucket or 2 game.
Can't do it. I think that's a lot of points for Iowa State. A lot of points. And, it came down some places from 7 to 6.5, but I can't help look at that, especially, because they've been in a couple, I don't know, relatively sharp situations Iowa State has, and one of them was against the Hokies where they lost. They came out right.
Sure.
Against Texas A&M too, which was a super weird game that honestly they probably should have came out on top of. Their favorite in that game didn't come through, so it feels like maybe Vegas respects them a little too much, but 7, 6.5, whatever you want to call it, feels significant for a game that is. It's not really ever that close, which is the weird part. Like last year, even when you think it's going to be close, it ends up being a blowout. Some team does it. Iowa 20-piece them last year when, to be honest with you, I kind of saw this team as pretty similar. They're a little better offensively this year. We don't really know because they haven't played great defenses. I think that line's pretty telling.
You're thinking it's going to be a Cyclones blowout at home.
Yeah, some team usually comes out and just makes the other team look like a high school team for at least part of the game. Maybe that's what's going to happen today.
Iowa's public right now on the spread on the Green Book, 54% of bets, 62% of handle on the Iowa spread. Public dog. I can hear it barking. Okay. You might be right. That spread is kind of fat for a rivalry game, but looking back at the recent history of these games, yes, it has not always been the favorite that wins, but whoever wins by 15.
They win by a lot. So, yeah, that's kind of –
but that also is not going to fucking continue. That's a crazy trend.
It might not. It's just – I don't know. It's in the back of my head.
It's one of the weirdest trends ever.
Yeah. It a lot has to do with Iowa.
They're opposite teams.
Yeah, they're opposite teams, but they're there's always one area where they struggle. It's very obviously Iowa's defense is either horrendous, or they can score enough to where it doesn't matter, or Iowa State comes out and they shoot 5% from the field. So like that happens in these games all the time.
That's facts. Okay. So you're leaning Cyclones.
Yeah.
Okay. We move.
That's one I might get to the counter with.
Ladies and
Pretty
gentlemen,
sure.
the Bison play today. How about it? North Dakota State against Portland. Ever heard of them? You might not have, if you're not a college basketball freak like me. North Dakota State. Kind of want to take them for the vibes, but I don't really like them in the spot. Also, not really in a rush to back Portland, who is atrocious. We saw this Portland team pull off some pretty cool upsets last season. They have a pretty good win this year against the Wyoming team that's just not good and completely rebuilding. So not really that impressive to me. North Dakota State, we know who they are. We know the Bison. We just bet on them the other night in an electric fashion and sweat it out on an illegal stream because it literally was not televised and got to sweat out that win. It was awesome. Does not mean I want to get back to them. If anything, I want to fade them, especially in this spot where they were plus 3.5 down to plus 2.5 for Portland. So it's looking like the dog is sharp in this spot. I'm not really sprinting to the counter to bet the Bison once again. Any thoughts on this game?
This, like on paper, this would be a really good spot to back Portland because they're coming off of getting absolutely throttled by my mortal enemy Air Force at home, which is a little different for them. And then obviously you just had the big overtime win from North Dakota State. You couldn't make a free throw on that game. Shouldn't have even gotten that far into overtime, but different conversation for a different day. Something in my gut just tells me that this is probably the play that I would stamp the fake sharp on for the day. Because North Dakota State, I think they're going to put Portland in hell with their defense. Because on the road, they haven't had many chances, but they've been pitiful to start the season. And I don't see that stopping against a pretty physical North Dakota State team. So I think they're going to cause problems. Kind of like, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if this was a home game. I think it was neutral site, but with Nevada, they had them in hell. Really, it was an offensive game. I don't think you're going to see North Dakota State put up 108 points like Nevada did in that game, but they just looked out of sorts. I went back and watched a little bit of that game. It just wasn't pretty. So I think North Dakota State matches up a little better than a lot of teams they've played on the road so far, or the two teams that played on the road so far. So I think this one could just get ugly. Square spot maybe, but I don't know.
Okay. Maybe we'll do it for catch.
Yeah.
Take the Bison.
Maybe square for catch.
Okay. IUPUI and Eastern Illinois, I believe is who it is. Yeah, Eastern Illinois. That is the late night game tonight in college basketball. That is what we have.
Sure.
Any opinions on that one? God damn it, chat.
Eastern Illinois is just
days like this. They don't get me. College basketball slates like this don't get me jazzed. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't jolt out of bed like I'm a ninja like I do on days like yesterday when there were good games. It's tough. The slate today is a joke.
It is ass. It is ass.
With that being said, why is everybody taking IUPUIs under today on my feeds, and why is the total moving up?
I don't know.
We could have an edge here, folks.
I'll tell you that much. I don't know.
We could have an edge here, folks.
Maybe. Everybody loves IUPUI unders, just period, because of what they were last year.
This IUPUI team, though, is no slouch.
It's a different team.
It's a different year, different regime.
I will say,
coach. But.
I will say, too, Eastern Illinois, their defense looked pretty solid, which, I took that was one of the worst wagers I've made this season, but fading them and taking Kansas minus almost 30 at home in that game, that was a single-digit game. Defense looked good, and maybe it was a little bit of a look-ahead spot because Kansas had a big game looming over the weekend, but that impressed me. So to see a total moving up with IUPUI on the other side, with everybody on the under, just like old times, is interesting.
2 + 2 = 4, or the over's going to hit.
It just might, yeah.
All right, I'm with you on that. I'm not loving the CBB boards. I think you've definitely talked me off of Iowa, and I agree with you. Maybe that spread's a little fat, but this team's also blow the living heck out of each other whenever they play. Pause. Blow the heck out of each other when they play.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Pause. Eastern Kentucky. I wanted to take them too, and you ruined that bet for me as well, so I'm left with nothing in CBB. Why don't we pivot to the NBA? Let's go to the in-season tournament. 2 games, 4 teams, and 1 dream to win a meaningless in-season tournament, and $500K, I believe, is how much they make each, which is a good chunk of change. That's why you're seeing some effort out of these guys. Are you a believer in the in-season tournament? Do you like what you've seen? Because everybody who even likes the NBA minimally has been jerking it off like no other this week, acting like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It's been awesome.
Okay.
Like as a person who
Pass it up.
yeah. I mean, I don't really like sit down every night and watch regular season NBA.
No, I
But
would
when
be
these
concerned.
games have been on, it's been a different level of intensity. Like even the players saying the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
KD was saying he was super skeptical of it and he hated it when it first came out, but playing the games he was excited. Now he's pissed that they're not going to Vegas tonight to play in the
How much
semifinals.
did they pay KD to say that shit?
Probably a little bit, but I don't know. Adam Silver is in his duff. Adam Silver's in his duff. A lot of players say the same stuff, whether they're getting paid on the table or not. But it's been fun to watch, and of course now we have what is now superseded the other Pacers over that we took for the highest total in the NBA history, I believe.
I did see that. People have been talking. There's
Yeah.
rumors aloof. We have the highest total in NBA history. I guess it still counts. Technically, it's still a regular season game, right? It's just some weird in-season tournament. I don't know. I don't know all the fucking gadgets and gizmos of this whole operation. All I know is people have been talking about how great the games have been. The effort level has been much better, which is the one reason I don't fucking watch the NBA, because it's a bunch of lazy dudes who don't play defense or show effort. And then I watch college basketball. I see these kids sucking and missing free throws, but they're slapping the floor and they're falling over the place. They're turning the ball over. They're showing heart. That's why I watch the young gentlemen on CBB. NBA, I need effort. That's why I do watch playoffs. I'm in on NBA playoffs. Feed that, inject that into my fucking veins.
Yeah.
I need some effort during the regular season. So if this is working, if throwing the guys $500K is getting to actually fucking try and show some effort in the middle of the season, sign me up. What are we betting tonight? Where are we dropping?
It's a good question. I mean, I really don't want to go back to the Pacers over. Like, I think it's going to hit. Could hit in all likelihood, but we already took the one that was the highest, and that sort over was the easiest bet of all time. And now when all eyes are on this game, everybody's going to have the same mindset just without any hesitation to take it. So, like, I don't want to get greedy going back to it a second one in a row. But I could certainly get involved with some squares in this game.
Listen, I got a couple reads in these two games.
Make
I think
some
I got
reads.
better reads in these NBA games today than I do the college slate. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to stick with it. We're not going to change shit because whatever buttons we're clicking, chat, they've been hitting recently. So let's not fucking change a thing. Okay, you guys keep doing you. I'm going to keep doing me. I like the Pacers over, obviously. But the play that sticks out to me and stuck out to me last night that I really liked, and now I'm seeing the even fatter spread, is the Bucks. Laying 5 here. I want to lay with the Bucks. I don't know if I want to money line parlay them with something else, maybe something in CBB potentially, maybe even something on the ice. I don't know. I'm open. We're going to go check out the ice here in a minute. But the Bucks are winning that game. Love seeing that spread moving up. Love the Halliburton hype, which is extremely deserving. But all I've seen and all I've heard today on my feed, and I haven't even fucking looked that much, is how is Damian Lillard going to cover Tyrese Halliburton? He's the worst defending guard of all time. He's going to drop 100 points. Yeah. Well, why are they playing the game then? Let's just fucking eliminate the Bucks and let's just move the Pacers on and give Halliburton the MVP. No, guys. There's a reason the Bucks are laying 6. There's a reason their splits are sharp. There's a reason it's moved from 4 to 5. It's because they're going to win big today. And the Bucks, who have, I think, the best team in the NBA, are going to show that today. And they've really struggled at times early on in the season, but this team has got to go. Dame is here.
Yeah, they look good. And that's anytime a guard plays the Bucks, it's always a super corp narrative because they have been horrendous against all guards.
Yep.
Hasn't been as bad lately, but always a very popular thing. So, like, I don't mind going to the Bucks. The only thing that gives me hesitation is I don't know if I want to take both favorites, and the Pels seem very popular today. I've seen that a couple places, which is weird because I think everybody was slurping LeBron, and I would assume getting LeBron in the play-in tournament championship, I don't want to fade that.
Who is betting? Who wants to fade LeBron?
I've seen it more times than I expected, which was weird.
You've seen it with your own eyes?
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Okay.
I mean, we got people saying it in chat too. So
Right.
That's a little weird to me. So, like, I if there's a square spot you're taking, I would love for it to be the Lakers, especially somebody said Scott Foster's reffing that game. So the closer. They ain't letting their king.
2 words, rigged.
They ain't letting their king not get into the play-in championship.
Anybody else find it weird that guy seems to ref all the important games?
Yeah. You know?
Huh.
A little odd.
I would bet my left nut in GTA that there is some sort of burner phone or meeting situation going on with that motherfucker and Adam Silver. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
There's some sort of inner workings there that we don't even know the half of. There has to be.
There has.
How does
yeah,
that guy who's not even rated as one of the best refs in the NBA, because they fucking rate these guys now, and they have literal Twitter accounts that will show the grades. He's not even one of the better guys.
I just like
He just gets to ref all the big games, and every
ref
time
all
they do, the outcome
CP3
that they
games.
need always happens.
How is he allowed to ref CP3 games anymore?
What did CP3 do to Adam Silver?
I don't know, because that's I don't understand how that keeps.
Because it all goes back to the
allowed.
top.
I don't know how that keeps being allowed to happen. That's crazy.
No, dude. After Donaghy, everything is plausible for real. I mean, people forget that literally happened. That literally happened. No sub bang. Are we getting subbies? Sorry, guys, not in the usual setup right now.
Yeah.
We got a Ron Mux Clam subby.
Let's go.
Shocker. Death, taxes, Ron Mux Clam sub banks. Love to see it. Absolutely reeks through my laptop. I can smell it. W Ron. Coastal KC resubbing as well. Leafs ML Federal Prison Squad rides. Thoughts on the Leafs?
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay, he hates it. Good. We'll get to that.
No, I don't.
Oh, he likes it.
Quite the opposite.
He loves it. All right, folks. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's just keep powering through this NBA garbage, okay? But these games are actually good today, so I'll tip my cap. And I'm a little blown because, once again, Javon has ruined a play of mine today.
I like what did I ruin? You like the Pelicans?
It's ruined. Yeah, I do.
I feel like
I thought LeBron, man.
Do you really think with the first year of a playing tournament, with it being in Vegas,
he's done enough? Let him rest up. He's done his job.
You think the NBA wants that?
I think the NBA would be okay with Zion being there too. I think Zion has been maybe talked about more than LeBron during this playing tournament.
I mean, maybe.
What's your counter there?
What do you think the NBA would do to get a Giannis LeBron in-season tournament championship in Vegas?
They probably do dirty things.
They would do. I mean, they brought Scott Foster apparently to try and help that be the case. It's like it's not that I disagree with the play. It's just like I physically cannot see the NBA letting the Lakers lose this game.
You might be right, folks.
Especially what we saw in the game against the Suns, where they gave them every possible call in the entire second half.
I know.
It seems like the script is just written, at least for him to get there. Who knows what he's going to have?
It's literally in Vegas. Scott Foster.
In Vegas too.
That's probably Scott Foster's home base. Little fucking sleazeball, guaranteed.
His home base is Maryland.
No way.
Scott?
Yeah. Scott Foster's from Maryland.
Goods, you've told me that before, I think.
I have.
Where is he lurking? Did you say he's
Ocean City? That's where he lives in the off season.
Okay. Well, that's a crazy move.
Yeah.
Posting up down there in OC
I've sat next to him having dinner before. I'm like, "What's up, Scott?"
That's pretty cool. Did you ask him if it was rigged?
No, I let him enjoy his dinner with his wife.
Next time. Because first time intro, second time ask him if it's rigged.
Exactly.
Good work, dudes.
Yes,
we got a sub bang from Window Liquor. 1, 2, 3. Sure. Love to see it. W Window Liquor.
That's crazy.
What's up?
I was scrolling through the Prize Picks board, looking for stuff in both these games.
Okay.
The one that I'm staring at, which I think I was on Twitter a little bit ago, and I saw Ahan also posted this. They're giving a greened out square for the highest total in NBA history, with a relatively corp bench player, which always goes well when you take those in the NBA.
What are his points at?
14.
Are those greened out?
Close.
Talking about Malik Beasley?
Talking about Malik Beasley. I mean, his points are pretty much greened out. So, I mean, looking at I don't know if you're going to get a green square that cashes with the highest total in NBA history. That's just me. That's just me looking at that square.
I'm liking what you're saying. I'm liking the words coming out of your mouth. I'm in. Let's fade him. Might have to ride with. Also, people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying we might have to ride with Ahan. I was going to say I don't know what to take, but I saw
Ahan's on that less than.
He's on the less than threes.
Okay.
So might have to collab with him on that one.
All right. Collab play.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, right now it looks like the Lakers are definitely a little bit public. 65% of bets, 55% of handle on that -2. Looking at that total for that game, the under splits look sharp and public for the Pelicans and Lakers game, and that total is a good chunk lower than the Pacers and Milwaukee. Also, people forget I took a more than square in the Hawks-Pacers game when that total was at 252.5, highest total in NBA history. and somehow lost. I picked the one guy who didn't go over his pants.
Who'd you have?
DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, piss.
Coming off an injection. He didn't do shit. Can't make it up. But
Piss,
yeah, give me
piss,
that over
piss.
in the Pacers-Bucks game. Give me the Bucks. And I like the Pacers, but Javon's sketching or the Pelicans, but Javon's sketching me out a little bit. 35% of bets, 45% of handle, though, on the Pelicans spread. So let's monitor that. Both dogs getting some action to that.
Yeah,
In the
both
end.
dogs. Like I would be lying to you if like I think both favorites win, and that's going to be very, very popular today. And I understand that. That's why like I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but at the same time, this is the NBA. It's like I have a hard time believing maybe if there's some fluke that happens and the championship, so be it. But I'm not going to try and get sharp when there is Giannis, LeBron, which the whole concept of the in-season tournament is to be competitive so they get more people to watch the regular season NBA. What better way to do that than having a potential, like in theory, a finals preview? It very well could be, depending on the teams, how they play in the second half of the season in Vegas in the championship of the first ever tournament. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that game.
Yeah, probably don't want to be fading the goats because they're going to be trying to put those goats in the championship. Makes sense. Luke's Locks, you got some prize picks promo from siding with the right side for picking me on last Monday. Fuck yeah, dude. Good to see they hooked you up. I was waiting to make sure that they got you. But yeah, chat, people forget, king of the boards on Mondays, reply to the tweet that goes out on BTL. If you put the crab and I beat Javon, which I'm 1-0 and I'm going to beat him again this week, or if you pick the little milk cup and Javon wins and pulls off a crazy comeback, you could get free prize picks promo, folks. Don't sleep on it. Okay, prize picks promo is out there for the taking. You just got to side with the right team. Okay, and we did do 2 giveaways, I think, for the first week too. Archie, don't let me get hot. Might be too late. We got a Zach Attack subby as well. Hell yeah, Zach Attack. Love to see it. Pacers versus Pelicans final, Battle of the Youth, Zach Attack is saying. Huh.
It could be fun too. It'd be a great game.
Yeah, it would be cool.
There's not really a matchup between the 4 teams that isn't entertaining. It's just like,
okay.
Talking about maximizing views, it's pretty glaringly obvious which route that would be.
Okay. Boston Sports Dork says, riding milk until he wins. Any comments?
I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to tell you there. Not gonna comment on that one, but yeah. Just wait until I pull a plus 300 dog out of my ass on Friday.
He's pleading the fifth, folks. Let's go ahead and move. You want to talk some puck?
Let's talk some puck.
Thursday Night Football. What do you want to do first? Puck.
Let's talk puck. Let's talk puck.
Well, you're going to lead the way. I'll give you the games, but I want you to go ahead and give your pitch. Rumor has it you've been warming up the brain all morning, looking at the hockey plays, looking at the NHL board.
Yep.
Ready to attack?
Yep, warming up. Had to get some reads. That's pretty much all we have. But
yeah,
I was talking with the Gen for a little bit on his stream too. There's a couple angles we kind of decided on that we like.
Good.
The Leafs is definitely one of them.
Okay.
On the road against the Senators, who the Senators are a public dog, relatively. Not the splits wouldn't tell you that, but they're a popular dog. They usually always are at home, especially when the Leafs were just in, or the Senators were just in the same exact situation with the same exact line on the Rangers when they came to Ottawa a couple days ago, and they dominated that game. The Senators did. Nowhere close. So with the Leafs, a spot that nobody really wants to buy them, I like it. Plus, you didn't pay attention to this or don't know this because you're not tapped into the ice, but last night, and a thing that I've been following odds-wise, as far as the NHL goes, whenever there's a goalie that's very, very hot against a goalie who is not nearly as hot, but he's still playing well, and we see that goalie who's very hot at 3.5 goals allowed. That has been the red flag for a lot of these goalies. So, like now
on the books,
which last night was Tristan Jarry had a couple of good games, including one against the Lightning, and he was listed at 3.5 compared to Vasi's 2.5. Those little trends have been cashing, and now we have Anton Forsberg in net for the Senators, who 2 games ago, 39 safe shutouts, and then one game ago, 2 days ago, just had a really good performance against the Rangers, who are one of the better teams in the league. So now the Leafs, who you can argue are one of the most frustrating teams to bet on. Nobody really likes them. I don't think many people are giving them a chance in this spot. I think they get it done on the road in Ottawa. Okay. So I like the Leafs.
All right. Give me the Leafs, minus 130.
Yeah.
A little bit of pullback there.
A little bit, but
okay,
to be honest with you, fading Steam, when it's not a massive line in the NHL, has been pretty profitable over the past couple weeks. So
Okay.
Steam shouldn't really phase you too much.
All right.
But a spot that I will buy in Steam is kind of a similar line, but with the home team, and it's the Preds going up against the Lightning
Okay.
at home. Lightning are off of a back-to-back, which is the reason why this line is where it is, because the Lightning have been playing really well the last couple of games. Vasilevsky's back. They got pumped by the Stars in Dallas this weekend. Came back at home, beat the Stars. Vasi shutout. It was also Victor Hedman's 1,000th game, so that was like Super Bowl type atmosphere, pretty much. It was they already won the cup in that game. Then they came back last night and a rematch against the Pens, who just beat them later last week. Just dominated that game and played great defensively. So I think after those couple of games, it's a terrible spot. Like I think they're going to be gassed defensively, especially going on the road against the Preds, who are going to dominate a lot of puck possession. So I like the Preds in that spot. I don't know what you think of that.
Could definitely get behind that Steam. I know you're talking about Steam not mattering, but I'm looking at that line doing one of those flips.
Well, Steam's it's getting Steam because Vasi's not going to play.
Okay.
It's going to be, I mean, which realistically, you probably should know that going in. It's not like the books didn't know that and then it became news. Like Johansson's going to play, and they've played not great defense, let's just say, when he's in nets for the entirety of the season. So this whole little run is juiced by Vasi coming back.
Okay.
So I think the Preds catch the Lightning in a tough spot, but long term, start buying Lightning stock.
Danny Mahoney says, I like this pick better. I think I'm with Danny too. I think I like the Preds a little bit better than Toronto, but I like both pitches, and we move.
Yep.
Where are you taking us next?
What else do we have?
I need a Caps play.
The Caps. So the Caps, I kind of like a relatively square angle in that game, you could say. Kind of like the over, which you could say opened a little low because it was touching 5.5 briefly. It went up to 6. Similar situation like the Stars are going to have their backup in net. Ottinger's been very good outside of the Lightning performance, and now they're going to have Wedgwood in net. The Caps have been really good at home, but a lot of that, frankly, has come off of like Lindgren and Kemper just randomly being good at home and bailing them out time after time again. I think that ends, and I think the Stars, if we want to talk about a team who is coming off of a weird spot where I think the line is a little fat for them being on the road against a good home team, it's probably the Stars. Like I think the Stars score goals today, but on the other side too, this is a tough spot I think for them defensively. So I think the Caps score goals too. So I kind of like the over in this game.
Caps are coming off of getting shut out by the Coyotes. Too.
Yeah, 6-0 shutout of the Coyotes. So like that's a spot where I want to really back offense, but I think that line for the Stars is also a little bit of respect. So it's both kind of put into one.
These guys haven't hit an over when they played each other since before 2019.
Yeah. Which, granted, the Star, this is like maybe a little different right now in this year. Not really for the Caps, I guess you could say, but for the Stars. Stars are scoring and giving up goals right now. If you would have told anybody about taking over in this game for the past couple of years, they wouldn't have thought about it twice. So this is just on paper, under, no matter who's playing. Daniel said, what idiot scheduled the Lightning to play 2 games back-to-back and then traveled to Nashville and play the next night? Exactly.
That's brutal.
Exactly.
Yeah, NHL schedules could not make less sense to me.
Yeah.
They make none.
Not
like
much.
How they start out the season where there's like 1 or 2 games and then some teams aren't playing for a week.
Yeah, it's really weird. Really weird.
I don't understand that one. Not at all. That's okay, though. All right. What else, Javon? You like the over in that Caps-Dallas game? Maybe you lean Dallas on the ML square play for catch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's not going to – like I don't think Wedgwood's going to go out there and shut out the Caps today, which is why I think they have to score goals to win that game, which is why I like that.
We got Austin Rendies coming in with a subby. Josie Masterclass, Giovanni's asking. Yossi.
Yossi Masterclass. I mean, if we're talking about guys that I really like for the Preds in that game, I want somebody on the top line for not a defender in the top line against the Lightning. So I think Nyquist was on PP for a point. Yeah, he is. Nyquist is up there. Weird for that to be up. That's not up very often. And the juice is pretty interesting there. So I would say top line masterclass between him and whoever else is up there. I don't know if I love Yossi, though, because I don't think he's going to need to pepper. Maybe Ryan O'Reilly. That would be an interesting one. But yeah, I'm there. What else do we have up here?
Any other plays you like on the ice?
Yeah, there's a couple of plays I like. You probably won't like this one because it's definitely selling a little bit of bad news or buying good news. But the Avs are very hurt right now, so I'm going to be paying attention to that. I believe Bowen Byram left their last game with an injury, didn't return. I don't think he's going to be playing today. Cale Makar might be coming back, so that's probably something to monitor. But the Jets are playing like a tight style of hockey right now, and I think on the road against Colorado, that line looks a little short, everything considered, even with the injury concerns. Like, I think they steal one, and then I think the Avs start to get healthy and go on a run. So I think depending on the injury news, I'm kind of going to wait on that one and see how it plays out.
Chat, drop your NHL plays so
Yeah,
we can
drop
go
the
over the
plays.
games and the plays that you guys like as well. Okay,
Drop
we're getting
the plays.
Javon's milk. We're letting him rip.
This
We
is
also need your guys'
probably
plays too.
this is probably one that could interest you, which
Feed
is this is probably, I would say, the most interesting line of
Can
the
I
day.
guess it?
Guess it.
Minnesota Wild,
No. I like the Wild though.
Calgary.
No.
Fuck. Blackhawks.
That one's interesting too.
All right, I
But
give up.
Flyers
Okay.
on the road. I don't know how familiar you are with the Coyotes, but when they play at home, they play in Arizona State's arena. So it's like it's one of the craziest environments in hockey, and they have been nails, really just period, but especially when they're at home in the last handful of games. And they have Connor Ingram in net, so it's not like they have Melka in net, but the last literally week, they obviously shut out the Caps 6-0. That was at home. Beat the Blues as they should. They beat the Avs in overtime. They beat the Lightning 3-1, dominated that game. And right before that, they went on the road and shut out Vegas. It's like that's the Knights, Lightning, Avs, no joke, 3 straight wins there. And then you followed it up with another 2 against the Blues and Caps. So 5-game winning streak for the Yotes. And especially when everybody knows how good they are at home, to see the Flyers as a pick 'em, which it's just getting there. They were saying like plus 100 for a little bit.
Okay.
See them in a pick 'em is strange. And there is a little goalie discrepancy, I guess you could say, because Carter Hart's in net, but Connor Ingram's actually been really good because he's been the goalie throughout this entire run. So he's the backup. He hasn't been playing like it. So I see the Flyers in a pick 'em. I think that's
just the greatest team ever at home.
Yeah, they quite literally are. And it's just a weird place to play for a lot of these teams. And I don't know what the deal is. They started sliding a little bit prior to this little run. They lost a couple in a row to the Kings and the Blues, and then they came back and they're on this absolute legacy run. So this feels probably like the weirdest line of the day, getting the Flyers at a pick 'em.
Yeah, Mullet Arena.
Yeah, Mullet Arena.
That's crazy.
It's where teams go to die.
And you want to fade Arizona today and take Philly.
I do. And Philly, I don't think they're that good. And I'm trying to think of something to compare them to, because they're a very popular underdog at home a lot because they get fat numbers. So like they play like a defensive style.
They've always been moose shit.
They've always been moose shit, but they're better this year. So like people have taken them a lot this year when they're at home against, like, I don't know, the Sabres or the Canes, which I guess I've done that too. But I stand on the fact that I think Vegas knows something about this team, that they're not as good as people think, because they always continuously get line disrespect. So the fact that they're getting it now, where nobody gets it on the road in Mullet Arena, is screaming something
Catching
to
your
me.
eye. Yep.
Yeah, it's odd with everything that's been going on with them.
Okay. Philly ML, folks. We don't have a goddamn choice after that sell job. Lock it in. Oh, that is not one for the faint of heart.
No, not at all. I mean, fading the Yotes at home is never anything for the faint of heart, even when you have Carter Hart on the other side.
Good. That's exactly where I want to be.
But yeah, to give you some context too, the Flyers on the road have not been great, which they've been playing a lot of home games recently, but outside of the game where they just put up 4 in a shootout against Pittsburgh, 1 goal on the road, 2 goals on the road, 3 goals on the road. For that, it's just like against these better teams at home, they haven't been playing, or better home teams, they haven't been putting up more goals or a lot of goals. Staring at their team total today with how well the Yotes have been playing against a lot of these teams, which not only have they been winning these games, but against the Lightning, they gave up 1 goal. They shut out Vegas. Against the Avs, they gave up 3 in a game that they really should have given up less and dominated. Then 1 goal in their last 2 games against the Blues and the Caps, of course. Team totals, it's 2.5 for -160
To the over.
to the over.
Huh. I mean, that sounds crazy to me. Is that as crazy as it sounds? I mean,
Yeah.
You're looking at those team total odds for hockey way more than me.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say it would be
It's pretty ridiculous.
It would be like relatively normal if it was -125, -130, -160. Once you start crossing like 45, 50, that's when it gets pretty telling.
Yeah, I mean, that's about a flip.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good 3?
And it depends. Well, they have them like, I look at the way they list them, and it's just they lay out every number. So I don't know. I don't know like what the listing is at. The listing's probably at 3. But
Okay.
the fact that it's sitting at that is fat.
Gotcha. Okay. What's up with the wild line? Old man All-American who's in here every day is asking. Got to give him an answer.
The wild line,
I also want to know what's going on with the wild line.
the Canucks were
They also get no respect on the lines ever.
They've started to, because they were really good at the start of the season. Not they're bad now, but they were the luckiest team in hockey by every single metric for the start of the year. So they were dominating. That's when they were on their ridiculous stretch. And now it started to fizzle out a little bit, because like they're beating up on bad teams, but not competing too much against the better teams. So like I think that's kind of going to be the team that they are. I don't want to get in front of the Wild right now, because ever since they fired their coach, they've been on a ridiculous run. And offensively, against a team who has been thriving off of very fortunate expected goal numbers for the entire season, I don't want to get involved with that.
Yeah. And real quick, before we keep going with hockey, I got to make a comment about this John Rahm shit. Yeah, guys, John Rahm just got absolutely paid like no other, around $600 million to come over to the LIV from the PGA Tour. I don't want to hear a peep out of anybody in chat, anybody on Twitter, anybody talking to their friends, anybody in the comfort of their own home bitching about John Rahm leaving the PGA for the LIV. I don't want to hear a peep. If someone comes up to you and they offer you $600 million, you're going to say no. Bullshit.
Tell Gina for that.
That's
money.
bullshit. You'd probably do anything they ask you to do for $600 million. John Rahm's just playing golf, and he's the best at it in the world. He deserves this money. Not going to say where it's coming from is good people. Sure as hell isn't. But I'd take that money in a heartbeat, and anybody acting like they wouldn't is a fucking liar. John Rahm is doing what anybody would do for their family, for themselves, for generational wealth, for what he deserves, for being the best at his sport. Doesn't matter where the money's coming from. In his eyes, he deserves it. And I think he does too. There should be zero bitching. All of you would take that money in a heartbeat. You would have done it last year. You wouldn't have even waited it out for a year like Rahm did. Don't want to hear shit about it. John Rahm, do as you please. You're the best golfer in the world.
Yeah, I won't even say what I would do for that money.
He's not the best golfer in the world, but I agree with you, Krabs. People are taking that money.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Take the money. I would.
I'd like to say I wouldn't, because I grew up watching the PGA and I love the PGA. But
let's not act like we all would not 100% take that money.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would if someone's coming to me with that check for sure.
We would have taken it last year, first week with DJ, Brooks Koepka, all the scumbags. We wouldn't have waited a year and said, we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this because we're playing with the best golfers and I'm fine right now. John Rahm waited it out. He saw everybody go. He waited to make sure that it was okay. And now that it is okay to do it, because the PGA and the LIV are now fucking together in that stupid parent company, which is ridiculous.
Well, I
Go
mean,
get your money.
That deal isn't fully complete yet, but if they do end up coexisting, I mean, there's not going to be as much bitching anymore. It's just going to be we have to live with it now.
There should be zero bitching. Okay, people who run this government take money from places they probably shouldn't, and you don't hear people bitching about that. I'm not going to bitch about John Rahm going out there and making my viewing pleasure when I'm watching a golf tournament better. I don't care what tournament it's in. Go get your money, brother. You deserve it.
Did you hear there was a live golf trade? They're doing trade now. Trades
for the team aspect.
Yeah, so they're doing trade. I gotta find the graphic. There it is.
Sure.
Huge news, massive.
Huh.
Right
Oh, there we go. Matt Wolf for Taylor Gooch.
Yeah, Range goes to the smash.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Matt Wolf was still on some sort of tour. Good
He
for
is.
him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, not ideal for the PGA, not ideal for our viewing pleasure on Sundays when you probably got to now turn into 2 fucking tournaments instead of 1. But I would take the money in a heartbeat. And John Rahm, anybody chirping him is a bozo. You are a fool if you're chirping John Rahm for taking that.
No one's watching Live. No one's watching that shit.
No, you're probably right, but maybe it'll be on the 4th TV in the corner / as long as they're playing in the majors, that is the most important thing anyway. So
they will be playing in the majors. Yeah.
That's all that fucking matters for 99% of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Hoagie's done Live. I'm not watching Live.
Yeah. If Tom Hoagie ain't in there, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other hockey plays, Javon? I want to give you plenty of time here. A lot of games.
A lot of them.
Need winners on the ice.
So I also like, if we're talking goals, I like this over, another Kraken over, playing against the Devils, which Kraken overs on the road have been like the most profitable thing to take with them. But now this is kind of another line that I think is really short. The Devils, who, I mean, this is a team that's put up goals continuously since they've been healthy. But now I look and I see a Kraken team on a 5-game losing streak, 6 of 7 if you want to go further back, where there's losses included. Obviously Vancouver and the Leafs, also Ottawa, also Montreal, and the Blackhawks, sprinkled with a couple Decord starts in there. But Grubauer in net for 3 of 5. And the Devils are only minus 145 on the road, which I thought is ridiculously interesting, especially coming off of one of the better games I think of recent NHL couple weeks. They just beat the Canucks 6-5 on the road in what was a super exciting game, and they've been really good too, 1-4-5, which is a product of them getting healthy. So I think that the Kraken, who just went on that 0-4 road trip, they're coming back home for the first time. I think they come out hot and score some goals early in this game and make the Devils kind of fight back and respond. If I'm looking at the prize picks board too, which I sprinkled a couple of these in the squad ride that we took with the Kraken involved in that game and the over. I was scared in that game a little bit after looking at the prop prices because they all looked very short. We saw a lot of Kraken guys juice the under a little bit, and they're going to be a little more juicy because they're playing the Devils in this game, which is certainly going to be a little more high tempo, higher scoring. You would think that total is probably going to get closer to 7 throughout the day. But all these guys are heavy juice. And if people remember Vince Dunn, I think I was a Chelly POD, is under in that game. He was one of the few who didn't get involved. Juice heavy on his side now. Eli Tolvanen, who's one of my favorite guys to take on prize picks as well. Heavy juice to his point. So, like, looking at the board confirms what I think about this game, especially for the Kraken, who have been moose pissed lately. So I think this is a classic just Devils shootout type game.
Okay. Devils shootouts, Seattle plus 1.5 type. Does that interest you?
It's probably a little juicy. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's minus 200. I would just say the over. To be honest with you, I think while this game, like, it's not a bad OT sprinkle either. Because I could easily see, which maybe it seems a little easy because the Devils have been playing these games. I don't think the Vancouver game went to OT, but it was damn close. I could see this going to OT like 4-4.
Okay.
And this just being a super exciting game.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay. I could get in on that. Sure. There's a couple games we haven't gone over yet.
Yeah, spit them.
Have we not touched on Anaheim, Chicago? I think we talked about the Blackhawks for a millisecond.
Yeah, the Ducks are bad. So, like,
that spread's down 20 cents.
It is, and like I still
ML, sorry.
Yeah, ML. I still like the Blackhawks, but the Ducks have also lost 9 of 10. So, like, a lot of these games are like they've been in a handful of one-score games. So it's not ridiculous to say that, like, they're a little better than some of the results lend themselves to, but it's the line's not as weird to me. I still like Chicago in this game, and I like goals here too a little bit. It's just such a wild card the way these teams are playing right now. I will say, for anybody, again, invested in a little bit of props, talking about this with the Gen 2, I think the Blackhawks are going to start getting into a couple of these games where they score goals. And Their pairing on the top line has been fantastic. They brought over, I don't know if you know the name, Anthony Beauvillier.
Never heard of that guy in my life.
Came over from Vancouver. He's playing with Connor Bedard now on that line, and Connor Bedard has looked like he's getting freed up a little more than ever, which is crazy to say because like it's not like he needed help. He's been fantastic, and now I think he looks even more comfortable on that line. So I think you get a pretty decent Connor Bedard game if we're getting goals. And if you want to sprinkle some Connor Bedard props, be my guest. I think there's also a reason he's not up on PP for a point or shots on goal. Obviously not a point because it's super juicy, but I think Beauvillier has been electric for that line. So I wouldn't mind taking Bedard if he ends up popping up on the board.
Okay. Sure. And a couple housekeeping items here. We got Lieutenant Goose coming in hot, giving out a subby, resubbing 23 months. That's almost 2 years, Lieutenant Goose. You're a seasoned vet. Let me know what the fuck you're betting today. W's. Are we doing NFL preview today? No, we will do NFL preview tomorrow with no college football preview. We got all the time in the world, folks. Seriously, sit back, relax. We'll do NFL preview tomorrow and obviously talk about Army-Navy in depth tomorrow as well. I'm coming with the plays, squares, book plays in that one. We're going to get you guys right for the Army-Navy game this Saturday. Don't get too excited, though. Maybe we'll get some points in it this year. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Might have to hang that one up.
Probably not. DTB Design likes the over in the Army-Navy game. I'm assuming he's talking about. You got some cojones.
I think he was talking about the Blackhawks game.
Yeah, he's talking about the Ducks game. Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel
likes
the over.
Daniel, what are you smoking to like the over in the Army-Navy game? But yeah, maybe that's just as nasty and contrarian as you need to get to find a winner. We'll talk about that game tomorrow, though. Today, we're going to finish up hockey here. I think we've hit all the games except for the Islanders, Blue Jackets, and Buffalo, Boston.
Yeah, I like those. If we're talking about unders, I like both of those.
Okay.
I kind of like Buffalo to keep it close, which I very well am debating a Sabres plus 1.5 play on this one, partially because, which you should start tapping into this too. This falls right up with your system talking about some of the MLB games. Saturday afternoon, they have a game on NHL Network, like early in the day. It's been soaring over for like the past, really all season.
They're handpicking this puppy?
They're handpicking them. In this, the Bruins have been in a little bit of a rut recently. They just had a big win against the Leafs on the road, but other than that, their offense has been stagnant. So I think they play the Yotes, who are on the road in Boston on Saturday. I think that's the game where they break out and have a massive game. But now I think this is a slugfest against the Bruins or the Sabres, who we took that as our squad ride over, and they were moose pissed for 70% of that game. Then they woke up towards the end and almost got close to tying that game. I think they carry a little bit of momentum into this one, and I think this is like a 3-2 win. I don't know if it's the Bruins or the Sabres, but I think this one's a close game. So I like that, like the under there. Kind of same thing with CBJ and the Islanders, which Spencer Martin's in net for the Blue Jackets because they're missing Elvis for, I think, a foreseeable future, maybe a couple weeks or so. So the Islanders have been like randomly turning into this juggernaut offense for whatever reason. I don't really know how that's come about. So I think this is the game where the CBJ on the road, they have these like sneaky games where they just keep it gross and nasty and a little close. They did the same thing with the Bruins, I think, in their last game. So it just feels kind of like a 3-1. I guess that was the same score of the Bruins game, but kind of like that. I like the under. It went 6.5 down to 6. The way the Isles have been scoring goals recently, it's a little strange to see that. So I think it's an under game too. I don't like anything in Kings Canadians. Keep me away from that. The Sharks, another team that's like weirdly doesn't look like the worst team in the NHL anymore, which I don't know how that happened either. They're scoring goals now, and I kind of think that continues for another game. Patty Kane is debuting for the Red Wings today, and they're a massive favorite against the Sharks. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Has he been hurt all year?
Is what?
Has he been hurt all season?
No, he just
got traded.
He hasn't been on team. He's a free agent.
Patrick Kane?
Yeah, he's old.
Okay, you guys know how much puck I know. Although I will say, before you start ripping again, look at my last 8 hockey plays.
Wow. You might be tapped.
And half of these are definitely Javon plays / squad rides.
You still got to press the button.
But have not hit or have not lost a hockey bet since November 2nd. Yep. And I do track all my bets. I don't care what the fuck anybody says. I do. They're on here. And hockey's actually my third best sport. Maybe I should switch. Maybe I should be the hockey lord. 83, 67, and 2 all time in hockey behind NFL and college football is my third best sport. Kind of sad.
That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
Maybe I should dive into some more hockey. Whoever was saying that in chat. I think it was Wags Locks. Maybe Wags Locks is onto something. Maybe this ice isn't too bad. Huh.
I was looking last night because I was like, you know what? That was because, first of all, I mean, the Hurricanes were a shit bet. That was the worst bet I've had.
I was surprised you were on that. I'm
Why?
just going to say it.
Why?
Because the line was screaming the other side.
Was it, though?
Yeah.
I
I bit my tongue because I don't know puck.
I mean, don't be afraid to speak up if you think otherwise.
I was going to put, I forget who they're playing, but whoever they're playing.
Oilers.
Oilers were my best bets, and then I saw you put Carolina in there.
6-1, I bet.
What'd you say, Goots?
Said 6-1, I bet.
You talking shit over there,
That was
Goots?
a shit bet. They're down like 3-0.
Hey, Javon said I was a dono for KOTB, so I mean, got to
That's
trip
fair.
back a little bit.
There's value on.
That's fair.
There is value on Goots.
There
Value
might
on
be
Goots.
value on Goots, man.
Yeah.
There just might be.
Goots on ground.
But yeah,
People
that
forget.
was a shit bet, and I was looking to see the last time I had a best bet loser in the NHL was the Bruins squad ride, which
Ooh.
was before Thanksgiving.
That's
Like-
crazy.
So I mean, it was bound to happen at some point, but that was just a shit bet.
That's
Horrendous
crazy.
bet.
Yeah.
That was the
What
first
a
time I've
run.
had a bet that's gotten like smoked.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
that
We take streaks like that and we move.
Yeah,
Where does KBO rank? First.
first, yeah,
First in my heart. First in the data chat.
ain't no wrong.
KBO legend. People forget. Need a crabby 5 on the ice. I think I'm good on that one, Kyle. Just tell Chelly's play and tell Javon's
We might have to put a
milk on the ice.
We might have to
Frozen
get
milk.
a house collab Frosty 5 the other night.
Call it a milkshake. Frozen milk. Milk on the ice. I'd be down for that. Sure. Any other hockey plays before we dive into Thursday Night Football?
Now we can tap him to Pat Steelers.
Great. Yeah, you didn't seem like you're in a rush to talk about this one.
I mean, I would hope nobody is.
Oh, folks, we got to talk about it. And I'll be honest with you, I think I like the over. Shocker, right? You guys probably expected me to come on here today and say that. I do like the over in this game, only because everybody's nuking the under. And if anything, it's actually come up a speck today. It's been going down pretty much the entire week, but I'm now seeing a pulse and seeing some bump ups from 30 to 30 and a half. Some places, cough, the blue book, which is a good sign. If we see that get up to 31, God forbid, I will be deploying sneak units on this over. Guys, the Patriots, for some reason, Bill Belichick, who not for some reason is the greatest coach of all time, he has Mike Tomlin's number, always has, always will. Mike Tomlin, he's up there as well. Hall of Fame coach, 100%, already lock him in. But the Patriots, no matter how good or bad their teams are, have always had great success against the Steelers pretty much ever since I've been following football and having memories. I would not be surprised if the Patriots cover this game. Would not be surprised if the Patriots win this game. Now they're going against Mitch Trubisky. Is he going to make that offense better? Is he going to make that offense worse? I'll be honest, Javon, I don't know if he's going to make that offense worse. I don't know if he will. Kenny Pickett was about to get benched anyways before he got hurt.
Post Matt Canada, he looked really good, though.
Did he?
Yes, he looked good.
For a game?
I mean, that's
Literally one game.
For
One
literally
game.
a game.
game and a half,
Sure,
maybe.
game and a half.
game and a quarter.
Kenny Pickett
Awesome.
is moose shit.
Kenny Pickett was going to be good in that offense, and I will stand on that. And when he comes back, or if he comes back, I don't know how long he's going to be out. We'll see.
Well, either way, I don't think it's that much of a drop-off from the quarterback situation there. And I think that Trubisky can do his job at least to keep that offense afloat and hand the ball off to Warren, hopefully as many times as possible, and maybe Najee a time or two. Now, go over and look at what the Patriots got going on. Sure, they don't have Ramondre, but this is why they bring in Zeke. And honestly, Zeke has impressed me a little bit this season. He's looked fine. He's doing his job. So it'll be Zeke that they're in the backfield for New England. Who knows who's going to be under center? I'm assuming it's probably going to be Bailey Zappi, which I don't really think makes a difference, to be honest with you. Guys, can it get any worse for the Patriots? They didn't score last game. They lost 6-0. 6-0. The only thing keeping this team relevant, alive, afloat, keeping them within, 20, 30 points of these games is their defense. But how many games are they going to lose, Javon, until this defense says, fuck this. I don't give a shit anymore either. I'm just going to join the offense and not do anything, and we're going to start giving up points. Because to be honest with you, their defense has been good.
Yeah, it's been good.
Their defense has been good. Their defense is good. It's Bill Belichick. We know he's going to figure it out on that side of the ball, no matter what pieces he has out there. But they held the Chargers to a 6-piece. That's impressive. They held the Giants to a 10-piece. That's not really that impressive. It's the Giants, but whatever. held the Colts to a 10-piece, held the Manders and that elite offense to 20. I mean, they're doing good things here. Their defense is doing well. But after their fucking 6th loss in a row, you're telling me that defense is going to wake up the same way they did last week over and over again, like Groundhog Day, and prepare the same way? I don't think so. They're human beings. Something's got to give. And a road trip to Pittsburgh against a backup QB sounds like a recipe for a defense who's been locked to not be locked in tonight, straight up. I think both offenses will be a little bit better than people think. I think people are overreacting to the Kenny Pickett injury. I don't think it's that much of a drop-off between him and Trubisky from what we've seen recently. And the Ramondre injury, I mean, let's not act like that fucking matters for the Patriots offense, which is moose shit anyways. They'll plug Zeke in there. It's literally not going to make a difference. It won't. It doesn't matter. They've both been mid this season pretty much. And honestly, Zeke has been better than I expected this year. I thought he was going to be useless. He's been okay. And he's got the coolest chain in the NFL, the reversible 1-5 to 2-1.
Yeah, those are kind of sick.
He does. Give me the over. Give me the Pats. Give me a Pats plus 12 over teaser. Over 24.5 teaser. Don't see how that doesn't hit. Would love to know what you like in this game.
Taking the Pats.
Okay.
Plus the 6. I mean, in this game, say it's, I don't know, easy. I guess you can't really ever say that with a team who couldn't cover 5.5 because they scored 0 points last week. But this is a game where, I mean, I don't think Trubisky is going to be good. And the part that I like about the Patriots, I'm also taking Zeke touchdown, which would be, I don't know, seems relatively easy to take a starting running back, but not in this game, not with the Patriots offense. But I think he's going to get fed 20 times in this game, make it very simple for Bailey Zappi. Will they consistently move the ball? God, no, they never do. Definitely not with Zappi, they don't. But Trubisky, the problem with him that I think Kenny Pickett does not have is Kenny Pickett has not nearly turned the ball over nearly as much as I think Mitchell Trubisky will do give the Patriots a short field, which is exactly what you don't want to do because they surely can drive around the field pretty consistently. So I've already seen that happen, which is going to gift the Patriots a touchdown drive that Zeke punches in.
Good.
And I think from that moment on, which I hope they take the lead, maybe that's the first touchdown of the game. I think it's just going to be a field goal fest, if that, and for a game that, regardless of if you like the total over or under in this game, you can't give me 6. Like this is how I felt about the Panthers-Bucks game, which the Panthers-Bucks, that's 2 offenses that are significantly more competent, I would say. And I thought that was going to be a close kind of divisional game, even with the Panthers on the road, and it was a field goal type game. I mean, this feels similar. This feels like Panthers-Bears, I guess you compare it to, another primetime game that had a similar script with 2 inept offenses at the time. So I think this is a field goal game at the most. So I'm taking the Patriots plus a 6.
Okay. Real Nicky Gambles. Crabs, if this game goes over, I'll literally play Pats ML for the rest of the year as a punishment and post the slips. Real Nicky Gambles, looking forward to seeing that and seeing how transparent and honest you are, because that's going to happen. Patriots plus 6, definitely looking at me funny. I'm with you. I think I like the over better personally, but
it's fair.
I gotcha.
I've avoided the Pats in every sharp situation this year.
Yeah, so what's making you take it here?
The fact that I don't think many people want to touch this game at all.
Okay.
And the little bit that are touching this game are all in the under. So it's not that I think they're like sharp. It's just I think that game script lines up for them to stick in this game, especially if we see a Trubisky turnover, which kind of counting on.
I mean, dude, that's so fair. I've seen more tweets about this game talking about if you're watching this game for more than 10 minutes, go check yourself into a psych ward. I've seen more tweets like that than people actually giving out plays in this game. They're scared. You know who's not scared?
Yeah.
Me. You know who's taking it over? Me. You know who's not a casual? Betting NFL in chat, like my buddy keeps saying over and over again, Mr. Beast Gaming. You know who's 60% in the NFL, up 41.31 units in the last 2 years? Me. You know who's 133, 128, 9, and tracks everything right in front of me? Me. You know who's the best football bettor of all time? Me. You know who's better than Mr. Beast Gaming? Me. Okay? Let's go ahead and get that record straight. All right? You listen to me for football. You listen to Javon for football and nobody else. Okay. Let's keep that moving and grooving and clear that up real quick.
Yeah, I do like, I don't know if I can take the over in this game though. I'll leave that to you. Partially just because I want it to go under, because if we're at the game that is the most obvious over on the NFL slate on Sunday, going for 6 primetime overs in a row, I don't want that.
We might not have a choice.
I don't want it to happen though. Like I want this game to go under. I want the public to eat.
Well, then you might as well punch me in the face, because that might be better than you saying those words you just did.
I mean,
Seriously, tell me how an over 24.5 plus 12 Patriots teaser doesn't hit. Tell me.
10-7.
Dudes. They can't. We
You say
can't
like it's
keep
crazy. It
winning.
was 6-0 last week.
So we're gonna get another 6-0. We're gonna get 6-0 every week until the sun stops producing heat. And
I mean, their last 3 games have not seen 20 points. So like it's not that
So I guess the fourth game has to, right?
It's not like I say
Who are you?
I'm not saying I feel so convinced
Who
that
are
like
you?
this game is no chance it's going to see those amount of points, but it's not crazy to say. Like how does it not hit? I feel like it's a little far.
Yep. And as soon as I say something like that, you already know it's fucking losing anyway. So
Probably.
that's fair. 22-0. Yeah, that could be it. Okay. Any prize pick squares looking at you funny? Anything that's up there that shouldn't be? Anything that's weird in the interceptions, touchdowns, all that good stuff?
So I mean, I like Zeke everything tonight,
Yep.
partially because I think he's going to get fed. I don't know if they didn't put up rush attempts for him, which I would love to take because he's probably not going to be very efficient, but I would feel great taking his rushing yards too. Also, Bailey Zappi's up for rushing yards too, but quite usually, I wouldn't love to take these squares, but I don't know who's taking a Bailey Zappi passing touchdown in this game, which is a square that is indeed offered.
Show me.
Which the two, obviously, he didn't have anything. They didn't score a touchdown last week against the Chargers. And the other game that he came in against the Colts and relief, I don't know how long he was in that game in Germany, but obviously not a pulse there. So, I mean, Zappi. I don't know who's taking Zappi to throw a passing touchdown in this game. And that being up is a little weird to me. 0.5 passing touchdown squares aren't usually that weird because it's usually a shit quarterback in like a tough situation when there's like a super one-sided game, but this is a double-sided loose
Tommy
fest.
DeVito up against the Manders, and that guy had fucking 10.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was one of the
NFL record
one of
10.
the couple times that worked out. So, I mean, I would love to take the Zappi pass.
That was one of the worst days of my life.
I could only assume. Yeah.
I set up the tailgates. I set up a party bus. I buy tickets for the squad, do the requests, do this, do that, spend a little bit more for nicer seats. You go there, you spend your whole day. And you're sitting there thinking, why do I care so much about this team? Why do I do it? As the +1 or the +7.5 live bet that you took just to keep you afloat loses with a pick six in the last play of the game in the corner of the end zone right in front of you.
That was crazy piss.
Why do it?
Crazy piss.
Chad, I can't wait for the all season, and we can talk and bitch about what the hell is going to happen with the Manders coaches and if the enemy's going to get, poached, I guess you could call it, if we even want them. There's a lot of interesting comments and discussions that need to be had about Coach Bieniemy. I don't think I'm there yet, but there's been some things recently that have been red flags.
Just got so distracted. They put a system play up on the board.
Feed me.
It's tough for today, but tell me they have Josh Dobbs up for a pick again.
Dude.
I mean, that might be square of the NFL season, taking that under, taking that less than.
I mean, I'm in. 100%.
I mean,
I'm in.
4, like it's a system play when they have 3, and that's only happened a handful of times and it hasn't missed yet.
This
but
is new
4,
system. This is a new system play.
4,
Never before seen system.
It is against the Raiders too, so it does make football sense because
Yeah.
they play super soft coverage. But
And they literally have clubs for hands.
yeah,
They literally don't have fingers or phalanges.
we just got to make sure Trent does not touch that square. Because if he does, it might be cursed.
Probably listening to there right now.
He's probably tapped, loading up an entry with esports. He sent me in a slip that he had, I think it was 2 days ago, $800 on esports. Please press him about that chat.
Liberty QB Caden Salter could start for the Jets or Patriots today. Liberty QB Caden Salter could literally run the same offense the Eagles ran last year with Jalen Hurts actually growing a sack and running the football and then being dominant, and they probably look like a better offense than they do right now with Jalen Hurts and it playing hurt. What do you guys think about that comment? What do you think about that one? I mean it too. I do. Rest him. He's hurt. He looks like shit. He's inaccurate. He's throwing picks. He's slow. You can't run with him. You can't have that dominant offense. The only thing you can do is that cheat and tush push. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
That video, the guy, David Carr was right in that video saying like he probably shouldn't be playing because their offense is 100% without him. But the one thing that was very stupid, they said in the video, he was like, oh, it doesn't matter if they have home field advantage. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's the reason why the Chiefs haven't had trouble getting to the Super Bowl because they haven't had to play a road playoff game yet. So it definitely matters.
Yep.
But they should certainly be trying to get him full healthy because he is not healthy.
And let me get this on record too. Jalen Hurts is not a bad quarterback. He's not rat meat. He's not trash. Okay? He's just not elite. Right now, he's not. Last season, he was unbelievable. Last season, he had one of the best seasons at a QB, clutch-wise, making throws, making plays, getting the job done, running, passing, you name it, be the leader. Last year, Jalen Hurts, extremely impressive. One of the best players in football, if not the best player in football last year. This year, you guys can't tell me watching him play with your two eyeballs that he looks anywhere near as good. He doesn't. If you think he does, you're wrong or you're a liar or a cheat. Those are your three options. You're either wrong, a liar, or a cheat. So pick one. And yeah, whoever's saying Taco Bell breakfast, I bet Taco Bell breakfast is fire.
Fire.
And it's slept on.
Just have to say this too. Jalen Hurts has more picks than Desmond Ridder.
Jalen Hurts has so many picks this year that if I took his more than interceptions, it would have already hit.
Yeah, it was 8.5.
Yep.
Yes, 10.
Would have already hit.
Yeah.
All right.
Squad ride.
We've got 4 minutes. We got to get a squad ride moving and grooving. Chat, here's the game plan. Tomorrow we'll be right here, same time, same place, boots on ground, doing a BTL live with you guys. Maybe we'll do it a little bit longer, maybe not, depending on what we decide to do with the outline because there's no college football. But we'll do NFL preview tomorrow for the weekend. We'll talk plenty of Cowboys-Eagles tomorrow because we'll be there, boots on ground. We'll talk Army-Navy, college basketball for the weekend, the whole shebang. Okay, we'll do all that bullshit. Right now, we got to get a squad ride going. Dudes, you ready to fucking craft? Train absolutely cooking right now, folks. Squad ride has won 8 in a row. Can we make it 9? I need to see double-digit green. I need to see double-digit green this week. I'm going to fucking lose my mind if I see double-digit green. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We got to get to 9 first. Let's get it today. Yeah. What do you like? Favorite 2 plays? Go.
Favorite 2 plays, I would say the Flyers and the Leafs.
Okay, Philly ML.
And the Preds are a close 2A, 2B with the Leafs. I'll say that.
Philly ML, Toronto ML.
Honestly, I take that back. Put the Preds out of the Leafs.
We're going to put all 3 of them in there right now, and maybe we'll take one of those out if there's another play we like that.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
So right now we've got Philly ML, Toronto ML, and Nashville ML, which is your big 3 on the ice tonight.
Yep.
Favorite 3 plays.
Yep.
Nashville ML, Toronto ML, and Philly ML. Chat, screenshot that, bookmark that, write that down. NFL, you want to go Pats?
I mean, I would like to take the Pats, yeah.
You really like the Pats tonight, huh?
I wouldn't say I really like them. I don't really like anything in that game.
No,
but
say it.
I like the Pats.
So you like them more than the normal amount? A little bit.
No.
A little bit more.
No. I like them at a normal amount.
Plus a half.
Plus 0. Normal amount. It's a standard play.
Dudes. Then should we put the over in?
You're gonna have to use a veto card for that one if you want to take the over.
So you do really like the Patriots plus 6 though.
I like it more than the over.
All right, we'll leave him in. He really likes them, folks. Lock it in. John's gonna knock me out after the show. All right. CBB play.
You can take the reins on that one. Which one you really like?
Dude, I don't like shit.
I know. I really don't either.
I don't like shit. NBA. That's where we need to go. Bucks over in that game. Second game's a wash. You like the Lakers, so you pick. Bucks -5 or the over in the Pacers and Bucks.
I mean, I would say I lean a little bit more Bucks.
Okay.
But
let's go Milwaukee -5. I'll tell you what, I like that better too. I do.
Okay.
Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. You have literally 1 minute to get this vote in and hurry the fuck up, and we can't mess it up because we're on an 8-game squad ride win streak, and we have to get to 9 before tomorrow, and we're going to make it 10. Lock the fuck in. Click the right button. 5 plays, 5 winners. Philly ML, Toronto ML, Nashville ML, all on the ice. We've got the Patriots +6. Ugh. That shit stank, don't it? And we've got Milwaukee -5 in the play-in tourney. Get your votes in. Click the right button. Don't click the one that's the most fun. Don't just not click the Patriots because it's the Patriots. Click the right button. Do what you've been doing. I don't need to tell you guys shit. You guys have been killing it. All right? Lock the fuck in. Get the play solidified. Click the button. Go, 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 go. Hovey, hurry up. Go, go, go. Get it going. We got 10 seconds, folks. Lock the fuck in. It's going to be Bucks -5, it's looking like. Okay. I'm honestly not mad about it. People want to go watch the play-in tonight. We're taking the Bucks. We're laying it with Dame. Fading Halliburton after his legacy performance. I'm in. All right, chat. Bucks -5. Going to the NBA, the association, the professionals tonight. We'll see how it plays out. Get Giannis, get Dame into the championship. It's good for the sport.
It's great for the sport.
Chat, stick around for the Surge stream. Trent's going to take you through the slate here in a moment. Okay?
Yep. Don't forget, this is an early game, too.
Ooh.
Starts up in a couple hours.
Starts up in 3 hours. Hurry up, go, go, go. Any king of the board plays?
Preds.
Okay.
Preds and Pats.
Preds and Pats.
And then if I go 2-0, I'll be looking for a sizable underdog.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I have to anyway, but I'll be looking for a dog on Friday.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
I'm going no plays today. I'm going to play a mental game here with Javon, try to get in his head. He was expecting at least one play. He's not going to get one. I'm going to come with 2 tomorrow. I'm going to beat him. We'll see if he can catch up today. All right, folks. We'll catch you guys tomorrow in these chairs. Same time, same place. Stick around for the Surge stream. Trent's going to spoon feed you guys some gobs. We'll be seeing Squad Rod, Milwaukee. We'll catch you guys at the cash counter.
We'll be.